Did you ever feel objectified? Did you ever feel like you were being taken advantage of?
No, not at all. In fact, it was probably the best job I've ever had. Absolutely loved it. It was all girls together. We were well looked after. We had security, but we had fun. And we weren't degraded or feel harassed. It was the best time. I love motor racing, so I got to meet some of my heroes. And I've got such fond memories, and I think it's a really sad day. I mean, this is the year of the woman. Again, we're taking away their jobs. I just can't believe it's happening.
Harriet, as a feminist who is opposed to grid girls, why is Lizzie choosing to do a job that she enjoys a feminist, not a feminist thing?
So I don't think choosing to do a job that you enjoy is not a feminist thing, but I think what we have missed in this is actually what the concept of grid girls represents, which is this ongoing idea that when it comes to sport, men do the sports and women stand on the sidelines and cheer them on. And the result of that is that actually women's sports end up being underfunded, that we forget that women's sports people are heroes too and should be celebrated. Also that we create this idea that then goes out throughout the rest of society that men do and women support. And it's a really, really strong visual. And I just feel in 2018, we're probably past that now.
Is it? I wonder if there's a problem, Harriet, if on the face of it, you've got beautiful women who have chosen to do, they're not being coerced into doing this, they've chosen to do this, they add glamour to an event, and people generally enjoy watching them. But on the other hand, you've got feminists who seem to be making this about something else, overthinking it. It's about the role of men, it's about women supporting men. Actually, it's just about glamour in sport.
I actually don't think it is. So, the one thing I found really astonishing about this whole debate was it's like the feminists who have killed the grid girls. In all my feminism, I have yet to see the petition that says, please, no more grid girls. It was actually Formula One who took it and probably took a risk assessment on it and went, we've got a lot of men that are surrounded by very beautiful women. We know we're in an era where sexual harassment is a big issue. We don't want a Me Too campaign on our doorstep, so we're just going to ban it.
Yes,
this isn't about women's behaviour, it's about men's behaviour.
They are feeling all this pressure. I mean, it's like the fun police have come in and said, right, let's stop it. And anyone that is even slightly attractive, no, that's it, over. Can I tell you, in Austria, they have male grid boys. So is that going to stop? Because
I would be totally up for that. If they had men and women on the grid, then that's entertainment, that's glamour, you can bring it.
But you're very wrong, because in Formula One now, I don't know if you know, Claire Williams, who's also a new mum, is running Williams. Formula One support women so much, and they're under such pressure because they feel they've got to follow suit.
We've had lots of tweets and emails about this. Vicky says, though, and this is for you, Lizzie, it's not the profession that is demeaning, it's the people that commit demeaning acts towards the models that are the problem. And is there some sense that if the girls are on the grid and they are looking very saucy or sexy and they're wearing tight outfits, that actually is that image that is projected isn't necessarily...
They're being objectified.
Ben, you pick up magazines, Vogue, there's girls there looking scantily dressed. I think this is a real snobbery, actually. I think this is a real snobbery, and I think we've got to re-look at it all. And, OK, what about my friend who actually works as a grid girl? And also I've got another friend who's a cheerleader who actually thinks now my job's going to go. Who's going to pay their wages? And this is the woman's choice has gone. Talk about, looking out for women. You've lost their work.
If we actually had an equal society, there would be as many job opportunities for men as there are for women and vice versa. And that's not where we are right now. And partly that is because we see women as supportive, step-back roles.
This is from Sarah. What is progressive or feminist about dictating to women what employment they can or can't do? And that's Lizzie's point, isn't it? She's got friends that enjoy their job and they get paid very well to do that job, and now their income's being taken away from them.
So actually what we're saying is this was not a feminist campaign to end women's jobs.
But you celebrate it because you think it sends out a message that women are not adornments at men's
absolutely,
events.
I agree. It shouldn't be women's adornments.
So you can argue it's not a feminist campaign, but as a feminist, it's something you welcome.
And also, as a feminist, haven't we got a choice of what we want to do? And if it suits you, do it.
But that's
if
the
you
point,
don't
Lizzie,
like it, don't do it.
We don't have a choice. When we grow up in a society which says that men do and women support, we give young people a visual about what their choices in life are, and then they react to those choices. So we are not making our own free choices.
Well, go to Austria, because there are the boys doing it, there's men doing it, the grids. Are they going to be stopped too? It's got to be fair.
I think in the enduro racing, the motorbikes, I think they have grid boys as well, grid boys and girls. We've been running a Twitter poll. We asked if sports should ban promotional models. Only 25% of you said yes, that they should be scrapped from all events. 75% saying no, they shouldn't be banned. Because, of course, there is pressure now on some of those other sports. If you watch the Tour de France, at the end of stages, the girls come on and they present the winner of the stage with flowers and with teddy bears. They have their pictures taken. Is that something you'd like to see as well,
So
Harriet?
I think it's when Formula One said they were going to ban grid girls, what they said was they had to bring it to the 21st century.
Yes.
They wanted to update it. And I think that's a really good move to understand that actually this attitude from the 1970s, which says we have some pretty young girls to sex it up, is really a bit outdated. But what's a better way of doing that? Instead of just banning stuff, let's think about what does that look like? That's about investing in the women's sports people. It's about bringing in equal opportunities for men and women across all the levels. It's about bringing in apprenticeships for women in the engineering side of it. Look at what else you can be
Harriet,
doing.
as a feminist, I find myself really conflicted over this. But what about Lizzie's point about, OK, if you're going to do all of that, ban women's magazines? Because women's magazines always have a gorgeous woman looking fantastic on the front, and if they don't sell. And they're selling to women.
But do you not think there's a
Absolutely.
snobbery? Do you not think this is the middle classes looking down on working class girls that are trying to possibly earn a buck? You know, who's going to pay their wages? Who's going to look after my
But
friend?
I'm
who's
absolutely with you, Lizzie, which is
chunk
like
of her
women's
wage is gone.
magazines are as culpable for this. Women's magazines are as culpable. And that's why you see a backlash against things like when Women's Health, I think a few months ago, put up a thing about, you know, how to lose weight and how to get a slimmer waist. And there was a massive backlash against it because actually it's about celebrating women
confusing.
in all
Do you
their
know what?
forms.
I think
No,
it's
it's
confusing.
PC gone mad. Where's Piers Morgan?
Exactly, Lizzie. I think you and Piers are the only ones who are not confused about it. Harriet, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you.